for coming to class today. This is going to be a 30-minute mixed level mat class. So roll out your mat and we'll go ahead and get started standing at the top of our mat. We're just going to start with some overhead stretches. So arms overhead, nice big stretch, nice deep breath. And we're just going to dive over our legs. We're going to start warming up our spine here. Go ahead and soft bend in the knees. We're going to slowly roll up, stacking our spine vertebra by vertebra, bringing the arms up overhead again. Excuse me, I'm going to start my timer real quick. All right, and then one more time, we're going to dive overhead, soft bend in the knees. Just kind of pedal out your legs a little bit here to warm up the back of your legs. Great job. And then slowly stack your spine, rolling up slowly. Last thing to come up is your head. Arms overhead one more time. Great job. Let's also, while we're here, we're just going to do a quick stretch of our wrists because we are going to be in plank here in a moment. So go ahead and extend your arm long, either one, doesn't matter, and pull your fingers back toward you while your palm is facing away from you. Give a little micro bend in your knee, or excuse me, not your knee, your elbow. And then flip the palm toward you and gently push your hand toward you. And then let's just switch. So palm away from you on the opposite hand, pulling your fingertips toward you, nice and gentle, just warming up those wrists real fast. And flip the palm and pull it in towards you. Amazing job. All right, so let's come on down again, diving over our legs, and we're just gonna do a couple plank walkouts. So we're gonna walk out to plank nice and slow, hold it for just a moment here, nice and strong, flat back, abs are engaged, and then walk yourself back up, pike your hips. Slowly walk yourself back out and up. And again, we'll dive over our legs and walk ourselves out to plank. Hold up for just a moment here. And we pike our hips up and walk ourselves back all the way to our feet. Stack the vertebra. Our spines are nice and warm at this point. Let's do one more. We'll dive over our lower body and walk yourself out. We're going to stay here in plank for about 30 seconds or so. And I would like to say, if straight arm planks are uncomfortable for you because of your wrists, you can most definitely come down onto your forearms if this is better for you. You can also come down on your knees if that's better for you. Whatever level you're out at today, just want to give you those options. We have about 10 more seconds that we're holding this here. Your abdominal wall is firing. So are your shoulders, so are your arms. What we're going to do now in this position, I want you to lift one of your legs. I'm starting with my left, point the toe, lift the leg, and bring it back down. Switch legs. We lift the other leg and back down. You can do this on your forearms as well. If you are wanting to do this with like on your knees, you can still do it. You'll just feel it quite a bit more in your booty and less in your abs. Keep going at your own pace. Trying not to arch your back too much. Try to keep a nice long line from your feet all the way up to your head. We are really firing all the muscles here right at the top of class. Amazing job. Let's do a couple more till you're evened out. Amazing. Let's come on down to child's pose. Whew, those ones are super hard. Whew. And also hard on the wrists too. So if you need to stretch out those wrists again, by all means. Deep breaths. Very good. All right, we're going to come back into plank, but we are going to be on our forearms this time. So down on the forearms. One leg out, the next leg out. Make sure your booty's not up in the air. Nice straight line. What we're going to do is just rock forward on our tiptoes and then rock backward. Forward and back. Slow rocks. Super big challenge for your abs here. If you're on your knees, you can still do this. It's just going to be a little bit more of a, not as big of a range of motion, but you'll still feel it. Slow rocks. Keep breathing. So good. And child's pose. I can't talk much during that one because it takes a lot of focus on the core. But I would say that our core is effectively warmed up, wouldn't you say? Breathe into those muscles that are burning. Nice. All right, we're going to go into an extension series now. So come on down to your belly. Go ahead and widen your feet to about the width of your mat. As always, make sure that your pubic bone is down heavy into the mat. You're tucking your tailbone just a little bit. Glutes are on, your abdominal wall is on, and we're going to bring our chest to the ground. We're going to start stacking our hands, and you're just going to place your forehead down on your hands. We're going to start with some upper body lifts. So in this position, with your forehead resting on your arms, I just want you to lift your hands and your forehead off the ground and then bring it down. So keep going at your own pace. Remember to breathe. Perhaps exhale as you come up. Hold for just a second and then come back down. Really engage those glutes. Try to press the tops of your feet down into the ground. Nice. So good for your upper body. So good for your posture. The muscles of your upper back. One more. Nice. We'll stay in this position and we'll do some lower leg lifts in this position. So kind of similar to what we did in plank, we're going to lift one leg at a time. I want you to keep your legs completely straight. So lock out your knees and fire through your quads as you lift one leg at a time. And I want you to think less about trying to get height with your feet. And I more just want you to think about getting that thigh off the mat. So it's only going to lift about maybe like an inch, maybe. So we're not going for a big range of motion here, mostly just trying to engage through your glutes, through your quads, and lifting your thigh off the mat, alternating sides. You can still have your forehead resting down on your hands, just holding it for a second at a time. Great job. Okay, we're going to combine both of those moves that we just did with the upper body and the lower body, but this time we're going to extend our arms. So pinkies down to the ground, arms nice and long. Instead of resting your head all the way down on the mat, I just want you to gaze down at the mat and make sure that your neck is elongated in this position. So abs are on, everything is on, your glutes are engaged, pubic bone down heavy into the mat, and we're going to lift both our legs and both our hands at the same time off the ground. So big inhale and exhale. Lift everything and hold for a second and come back down. Inhale, exhale. So good. Keep going at your own pace, breathing how it feels natural to you. Again, you're not lifting everything like 6 inches off the ground. You're not going for huge height here. Try to get those thighs off the ground. Try to get those hands off the ground. So good for your entire back. Amazing. One more. So good. All right. You can fold your hands again and just rock your hips back and forth for me. Amazing. Release all that work we're doing in the back. All right, we are gonna go into swimming. So we're going to lift everything up and hold it as we pretend like we're swimming in water. And we're going to alternate lifting legs and arms here. So right arm goes up as your left arm goes, excuse me, right arm, left leg go up at the same time, and then switch. So we're gonna inhale and exhale as we lift everything up, and then we alternate limbs and arms. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg, as we just lift them and lower them, but we're still up and everything is engaged. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose. Amazing. Swimming is not easy. That is definitely one of the harder moves we can do in that prone position. So amazing job. Let's come on to all fours and we'll just do some cat cows just to release again that lower back. So dip the spine, tummy toward the ground, face up to the sky, and then tuck the tailbone and arch your back and look toward your thighs. And reverse that again. And we tuck the tailbone. Oh, it feels so good after all that work on our bellies. All right, we're gonna come to a seated position. We're going to put our legs about the width of the mat and flex your feet. Make sure you're up on your sit bones nice and tall. We're gonna do some saws in this position. So I want you to think about holding a big beach ball in front of you, and then we're just going to widen our hands, or our arms a little bit so they're a bit wider. And what we're gonna do in this position is we're gonna twist from our waist, and we're going to reach with our right arm toward our left pinky toe, and then come back up. So twist from the waist first, and then reach toward your toe. Alternating sides, twist and reach. And as you're reaching toward your toes, I want you to think about like there's like a wire right in front of you that you're trying to reach over as you twist. And that's really going to wake up your whole abdominal wall, your obliques are really getting squeezed in this position. Remember to breathe, flex those feet. Whew. Your spine is nice and tall. We twist and reach. We twist from the waist and reach. So your legs are completely still. They're not moving back and forth, seesawing back and forth as you are moving. This motion is completely coming from your, about like the breastbone region above the hips completely. Let's finish on this side here. And then we're going to bring our knees to a bent position with your feet on the mat. I'm gonna scoot down a little bit here. So feet are together, knees are glued together, and we're gonna do some spine twists in this position. So we're gonna do the same thing with our arms, where we have the beach ball and then we widen it a little bit. And you're sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to do that same motion without the reach. So we're just going to move from the spine here, or excuse me, from the waist as we twist. And we twist. Doing so good. Keeping those elbows nice and tall. Pressing your knees together. Great job. All right, we're gonna go into a half roll down now. So definitely keep your knees glued together in this position. Your feet are together. I want you to extend your arms out long in front of you and think about like a string pulling your spine up nice and long in this position, and your arms out nice and long. And what we're gonna do is tuck our tailbone in this position. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. Tuck your tailbone under, pelvic tilt, and then I want you to let that tilt continue through your spine. So you're in a nice curved C shape here. And I want you to go back just far enough to where you feel like you're about to fall backward on the mat, and then come on back up in that C shape, and then straighten your spine. Pressing your knees together, that'll help you get back up to the seated position. Again, so we do our pelvic tilt, tuck your tailbone under, and let the tuck just continue through your whole spine so you're in a C shape. Very, very good. Squeeze those knees together and lean forward in that C shape, and then stack your spine. Amazing job. One more time. We do pelvic tilt. Continue, continue all the way back here. Squeeze your knees together and lean forward in that C shape. Stack your spine. So good. We're going to go back one more time. So we C shape all the way back down there. And then we're going to add our spine twist in this position. If you need to bring your knees up a little bit more, you can. So like we're holding a beach ball in front of us, widen them, widen your arms a little bit, and then we're just going to twist from the waist over to the side. So your range of motion will definitely be more limited in this position because your legs are going to want to twist with you to help make the move easier. But I want your lower body to stay completely still in this position as you are just twisting from your waist, from above the hips. So, so good. These are super hard, and you're doing amazing. We're a little more than halfway through class. So good. Great job. All right, and then I want you to roll yourself all the way back down onto your mat. So you are now flat on your mat. Wow, amazing job. We just killed our abs very, very effectively. Holy smokes. So I want you to go ahead and bend your knees. We're gonna go into a bridge series now. So you can have your knees about parallel with your hips here in this position. Kind of want your hands nice and long beside you, palms pressing down into the ground. And let's just start with some standard bridges. So we're gonna go up, lift your hips up, really engage through your glutes here, and then come back down. And we lift. Come all the way back down. And lift. All the way back down. Engage through the core. Engage through your glutes and your hamstrings. Amazing job. Let's hold it at the top, and we're just going to do some pulses. The very top, really small range of motion here, just about an inch up and an inch down, really squeezing through the base of your glutes. Pressing your arms down into the ground. Remember that you have about an orange size between your chin and your chest here. You can bring your hips down, wiggle out your booty a little bit to release that before we go into the next thing here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and lift back up into your bridge, and we're gonna hold it here for just a moment. I want you to bring awareness to your hip bones right now. So right now in this position, your hip bones should be completely level to one another. So one side isn't pushing up higher than the other to compensate for working on one side or the other. So I want you to just bring awareness to the fact that your hip bones are in a completely level plane right now. And we're going to be working one leg at a time. And the challenge is I want you to try and keep your hips in that completely level plane. So one's not going to be dipping to compensate for the work that the other is doing. So with that in mind, you can scoot your heels in just maybe about like a half an inch to an inch closer to your booty. Hands down to your sides, palms pressing down on the ground. I want you to reach your right leg long into the air, really working through that left glute now. And we're just going to lower our leg, not quite all the way down to the mat, but we're going to lower it and lift. Lower and lift. Now think of those hip bones. One of them isn't dipping, right? They're both at the same height. they're both equally engaged here. They're in a level plane. Squeeze so hard through that left glute. She is working so hard. You can also bend your knee if this is too much and do some toe taps in this position. It's always good to see if you can challenge yourself. All right, let's hold the leg up and we're just gonna pulse at the top. Pulse, pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Squeeze those knees into your chest. Wowza. That is some challenging work right there. Did an amazing job. All right, we're gonna repeat that on the other side now. So we'll start with just some standard bridges again, just to get both glutes fired up equally to start with. Great job. All right, now let's hold it up at the top. And we're going to do the other leg now. So extend the other leg nice and long, keeping your hips on an equal plane. We're just going to lower that leg and then lift it up. Lower and lift, going nice and slow. You're not using your momentum. You're using the strength of your glutes. You're using your abs here to help lower that leg. And if you are trembling, just know I am also trembling. All my muscles are shaking right now. They're working so hard, doing some good stuff for us. Wowza. We're gonna hold it up at the top and pulse. Down an inch, up an inch. We go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring the knees in. Whew, my goodness. We're gonna do a little bit more work in this bridge position, and then we'll move on. Whew, okay, so both feet back down on the ground now. We're gonna do a little bit of a funky bridge here. So I want you to open up your knees, let them fall to the side, and bring the bottoms of your feet together. So you're kind of balancing a little bit here on the sides of your feet. Bottoms of your feet are pressed together, knees are open wide. We're gonna lift our hips in this position. So you're not gonna be able to get as high, but go ahead and try it. Lift your hips in this position, and you're gonna feel this in like a totally different spot than you felt with the regular bridges. Really press your feet together, lift and lower. You're gonna feel this a little bit more in your inner thighs. Amazing job. Definitely feeling it in my hamstrings after all that work that we just did. Great job. Next time we get up, we're gonna pulse it. We pulse, pulse, pulse. Great job. Pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it down. Oh, very nice. It's good when you're doing single leg work at a time to end with doing both legs at the same time, so they feel a little bit more evened out. Amazing job. Let's go ahead and slowly roll to our side and push ourselves back up to seated. We just have a couple minutes left of class. So we're gonna end with some weightless arm series here. So go ahead and bring your arms out to the side, nice and long, and then we're going to bend our arms at a 90-degree angle, and we're gonna do something called walnut crushers. So I want you to picture that you have a walnut in between your shoulder blades. And what we're gonna do is bounce our arms back, squeeze your shoulder blades together like you're crushing a walnut, and then bounce them back forward. So make a little U shape with your elbows. We're gonna move nice and slow here. Make sure that your ribs aren't popping out as you push your arms back. Your core is nice and engaged. Your ribs are knit together as we are squeezing our shoulder blades together at the back and then bouncing your elbows forward. This is not only working your shoulders, but it's working those upper back muscles as well for your posture. So, so good to work our posture in this day and age where we're so often bent over our phones or bent over our Kindles or computers or our children. Great job. Let's go ahead and we're going to send our arms long out to the side. So I'm sweeping my fists up back into 90 degrees, and then I'm sweeping them down past my biceps and out. Let's actually go ahead and open our palms in this position. So palms face forward, palms face backward. And this is really going to burn out your deltoids. So we sweep the forearm up and back, up and back. So good. Do a couple more of these. And let's hold it in this position with our palms facing back, and we're just going to lift our pinkies up to the sky. Woo-hoo, these shoulders, they are working. You can always bring your hands down a little bit closer to your mat too. That'll make it a little bit easier, but you're still gonna feel that burn. Palms are facing back. Pulse through the burn. You can do this. Amazing job. All right, we're going to push our palms back now. So try to keep your upper body nice and still so you're not bumping your chest forward. We're just pulsing those palms backward. Oh, this one hurts so bad. Oh my goodness. Pulse back, 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 back. Amazing job. Give you a break in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, holy smokes. Massage those shoulders. We'll just do one more push similar to that, and then class will be over. So you've almost made it to the end here. A couple more minutes. Shake out those shoulders and your wrists. All right, we're going to bring our arms back to 90 degrees, and we're going to do some overhead work now. So we're just going to do one arm overhead and pull it back down to 90. Switch arms. Going to alternate, pushing overhead and bringing it back down to 90. Palms are facing forward. Again, I'll remind you to keep your core nice and strong. You're breathing. Amazing. All right, let's go ahead and do both arms at the same time. And then we're going to pull our arms all the way down so our elbows are trying to squeeze our sides, and then all the way back up. All the way to squeeze. All the way back up. All the way to squeeze. Very good. You're breathing. I just have a little bit more. All right, and next time we get our arms to our side here, push them out to your sides and pull your elbows back like you're trying to touch them behind your back, and then elongate. Squeeze and elongate. Squeeze, squeeze. Kind of like you're doing a walnut crush again. So trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together, crush that walnut in between your shoulder blades. Oh my goodness. We'll do 5 and 4 and 3 and 2, and hold it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it down. Amazing job. Wow. 30-minute mixed level is no joke. Go ahead and just get that blood flowing through your arms again. Shake out your hands. Amazing job. Let's just do a really quick stretch of our hip flexors, since we definitely did some lower body work. So we're just going to do a proposal position here. So it doesn't matter which side you're starting on. I want you to pop one knee out at 90-degree angle here, and then push your foot forward about, maybe about like 2 inches, and then tuck your tailbone. So you're in a nice pelvic tilt here, and you're just going to lean forward just a tiny bit. It doesn't take much to feel this one in your hip flexors, and it feels amazing. Flex that glute of the side that we're stretching, and that'll help open up your hip flexor a bit more. So good. We can go ahead and stretch out this leg too. So extend your front leg long. Make sure your hips are nice and square. Flex your foot and just lean forward with a flat back. This one's pretty challenging for my balance, so I kind of have to put my hands down on the ground to help me balance, but pull that hip back on the side of your long leg. Pull it back and it'll help it elongate that leg and deepen the stretch. All right, slowly come back up and we'll just switch sides. So proposal position on this side, 90-degree angle, and then shoot your foot out a couple inches. Pelvic tilt, tuck it under, and lean forward. Flex that booty cheek on the side that we're stretching. Awesome. And then we'll just extend that front leg long, slide it forward a bit, and flex your foot. Make sure your hips are nice and square. Lean forward with a flat back. And pull that hip back on the side of the long leg. Make sure that you're getting the most out of the stretch and just breathe into it. You are so strong. This was a tough workout, and you did it. You did a hard thing tonight. A good thing for yourself. Alrighty, slowly come out of that stretch. And as always, thank you so much for joining class today. I can't wait to see you in the next one, and let me know what you thought of tonight's class. Have a good rest of your evening.